Hi everyone and welcome back. We're now heading into October. We've got a lot of fixtures to play for this month in the game. Hopefully by the end of it we won't be sitting in a very scary position in the relegation zone during Halloween. So let's see what we've got. We've got two away fixtures in the league versus Tarlangene and CS Afamate. Followed by a home game to Juventus Bucharest, then an away game to Academica Clinceni, a home game against D Calarasi, then we have our slightly interesting cup game against ACS Poli, and we round it off with a away game against CS Mioveni. So, as I say, a lot of fixtures to get through. I will batter on and get to the end of this month. So, tactics. Our last fixture we won 2-0, so we're going to keep things as they are, and we'll just go ahead and launch the game. Somewhat unusually, the press have confidence in us for this fixture, and we've been made the favourites by Sky Bet. 1-0 after 32 minutes, and it's Attila Su gets his fourth goal of the season. So 1-0 at half-time. The assistant's pleased with how things are going and suggests that they should keep it up, and I'm in complete agreement with him. Our morale is quite interesting because it's all set as okay, despite that we've been playing quite well recently, and I wonder why that is the case. Anyway, 1-0 half-time, moving on. So, full-time, 1-0, pretty solid performances all round for the most part, other than our 41-year-old. But when you're 41 years old, you're not going to be able to keep up with the younger guys anyway. Our team are pretty much delighted, and we have, let's see where we are on the table. Oh, this result sees Somi Pankota shoot right up the table. You've got to be happy with that. It gives us a platform to build on. That sounds good. So we're now 6th in the table, and this is a lot higher than I thought we would really reach at this point in time, so pleased with that. Try and maintain it. Time for our board confidence update. So to summarise, the board are very pleased with your overall leadership of the team. That's good. They're especially happy about beating Chindia 4-2. And they're complaining about my wages. That's going to basically be their major criticism for the whole season. In terms of financial update, we're currently 80,000 in debt. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Alright, so we're now up against CS Afamate, who are in unlucky 13th, and we are away from home. I will probably drop Mitu based on his rating for the last match, if I've got anyone that I can put in his position. Other than that, I don't think we're going to make any changes. Yep, so let's see, let's put this Stavarash guy back in and see how he does. Other than that, I think we'll be good. We'll probably bring Dennis Long on at half-time, given Stavarash's fitness. Plus he's not really that suitable for the position. Oh well. Let's see how he does anyway. And we are not fancied to win this, unfortunately. What's the thinking behind Mitu being dropped? He's just being rested. He trained well this week. If you can't be bothered with the press options, always just go the middle road. It doesn't really seem to make too much of a difference anyway. So half-time 0-0. Anderson missed a sitter at one point, so I hope he's not getting a bit complacent there. I'll make the substitute that I said I was going to make. Shall we look at the stats? So in terms of player ratings, there's not much of a difference between the two teams. For match stats, the other side have had more shots, and they've actually had shots on target. I am a bit annoyed that Anderson missed that sitter, especially as it was a clear-cut chance. We've had more possession. We were able to pass the ball better. And that's pretty much all there is of note there. We'll start the second half and hopefully things will pick up. Right at the start, Doronel Popa scores from the edge of the box, 1-0. Oh, Lung has scored. That's a nice surprise. So after 53 minutes, we're 2-0 up. And it's Sue. He's certainly on form for a 37-year-old. — 4-0 and it's Lung gets his second of the game. If you'd asked me at half-time what I thought the score would be, I wouldn't have expected it to be 4-0 after 70 minutes. Well, 4-0 full-time, a really surprising result given how uneventful the first half was. This result moves Soime Pankota into the playoff places. I'm surprised at that. You must be pleased. Gives us a platform to build on. Well, that worked last time, why not go down the same route? So we're now third in the table, and we're only 3 points off the top. And whenever the press ask me about how many, if you think you can reach the magic limit of points to survive relegation, they always say that's 40 points for this division, so we're already halfway there after 11 games. That bodes well. So I think we'll continue to target that 40 points, and anything we get above that will be a bonus. So here we are against Juventus at Bucharest. It's a home game. We've only had 3 matches. We've only had 3 days in which to rest up and recuperate. That means that we have a lot of tired legs, and although I don't want to change what is not broken, I think we'll have to make some changes. So, well, their condition's not too bad. We've got some guys in the 80s. I just need to be conscious of that and make changes at half-time if I need to. Obviously, Dennis Lung's coming on. Petrascu picked up an injury last game, and that's going to be a problem, because he is one of our stronger players. I've put Sarr on in midfield. We change Lung's role. Let's switch them around. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so same formation. That should be good. We'll go with that. And we're favourites for this one. Although we do have some holes in our side due to injuries. And bizarrely, our rather incompetent keeper has got quite a lengthy run at the moment where he's not conceded a goal, so let's hope he can keep that up. I guess he could not keep it up. After 1 minute, he's let a goal in. It's a bit of a disaster. Alright, half time. We've not made any chances and we've conceded one chance. That's pretty pathetic, to be fair. Can we make some changes? Who have we got that we can bring on? We'll bring back Mitu. We'll put our old sort of strike force back in place. Bring on a midfielder. We need to attack because we need to chase the game. Alright. See the stats. So we did absolutely nothing. We've been outclassed in pretty much everything other than headers and corners. Alright. Well, it is where it is. Oh, really? Our goalkeeper scored an own goal. Well, there you have it. A 2-0 defeat at home time. A very underwhelming performance. I'll need to go back to the drawing board, I think. We didn't create any chances, and Anderson has certainly taken his foot off the gas. So he needs to step it up again, given what we're paying for him. Our goalkeeper was a real shambles. Especially with that own goal, he basically dropped the ball on his line and watched as it crawled over. I think that I would like to replace him if I can find someone, but obviously that will shunt the club far deeper into debt. We've dropped down to 7th as a result. Not too bad, to be fair. Okay, so next up we are against Academica Clinceni. They are second in the table, so this is going to be pretty tough. Let's see what we can do with the team. Alright, so this is how we're going to play. Same formation. We are going to play counter instead of standard because we're going to be in the defensive. But maybe we can hit them in the break. I've made some changes. Elvis has been moaning about lack of playing time. This is a good game to throw him in on because he can either prove himself against tough opposition, or if we're going to lose, well, it's a bit of a throwaway. I know that expecting to lose isn't really smart, but you need to play these guys sometime. In midfield, we're putting Popa in as our ball-winning midfielder. Petrascu is back. He is slightly under condition, but he is our strongest midfielder, in my opinion, so far. And we're going to play Vlad the Impaler in midfield as well. His march sharpness is pretty low, but I don't really have much in the way of other options with Tader being injured. I suppose I'll put Sheriff in the bench because, well, we've got a midfielder on the bench. We've got Patrick. Do I want Sheriff? We'll leave Patrick in the bench. We've got Sarr as well on the bench. So we've got some options there, I suppose, if we want to swap him out. But I think he probably does need a chance, so we'll leave him in. The attack's pretty much as you would expect. We've got Sue, we've got Mitu, and we've got Anderson. So that's what we're running with. Let's see what happens. (1-0) after 36 minutes, and Anderson finally scores after not getting on the score sheet the last couple of games. Okay, so half time, 1-0 up against second in the table. If you'd suggested that that's where I would be at half time, I probably wouldn't have believed you. We are getting more shots in goal, so I'm very happy about that. We're not winning the possession game, but there's not a massive difference in it. And the other side are more proficient in passing, although we're better at tackling. So a bit of a mixed bag, but we're ahead in goals, and that's what matters. (2-0) after 67 minutes, and Anderson's got his second. (2-1) and our defence just had a complete disaster. Well, 2-1 at full time against second in the table. Anderson got both goals. He's got a rating of 8.8. I'm very happy about that result. I didn't think we were going to take anything from it. Match stats, shall we look at those? Yes, we will. So we had 9 shots, of which only 3 were on target, but 2 went in the back of the net. We had 1 off target. We turned the possession around in the second half, and I don't know why that happened because I didn't make any changes at half time. We only had 4 fouls to their 12, so perhaps that was a difference. And their passing was 75% successful compared to our 74%. Their tackling was marginally better. So I think we got away with it a little bit. But 2-1 is 2-1. And that takes us back up to 5th in the table. Back into contention. Just a quick interjection. So Carlos, our coach, has decided that Mitu is on the decline. Imagine that, a 41-year-old footballer is on the decline. Never have expected it. Right, so for our match against Dunaria 2005 at Calaraze, we are at home. They are 14th, we are 6th. We are going to make a few changes to the side, I think. Yeah, Tater's back. Obviously, he's going to go right in there as our ball-winning midfielder. We're going to get our preferred midfield lineup back. Shall we change anything else? No. We will keep the rest as it is. Counter. Shall we stay in counter? I think we'll stay in counter and we'll maybe change it at half time if things aren't going well. So, here we go. We should, based on our current form, we should be taking something from this match. And the press agree with us. It would be really nice to get up there to the top end of the table. Well, the top of the table, never mind the top end. Mitu has picked up a knock, so we need to bring the subbies on. Okay, 1-0 to Calaraze, and our subby has been injured, so we're subbing him off. Alright, it's been an absolutely turgid first half. We've made 0 chances, we're back to that old problem. For some reason, we just don't seem to want to play in the first half of matches, and I don't know why that is. So, we brought Long on for Mitu, who was injured, and then Long got injured. And obviously there's a defender on the other side who's a bit heavy-handed. So now we've brought Stavarash on to fill that gap. And we're changing our mentality to standard. Well, shall we attack? No, let's go and attack. Okay, so we're changing our mentality to attacking. And Stavarash has finally kicked a ball for us, so after 65 minutes it's 1 each. Well, 1 each full time. A point is better than a kick up the backside, what can I say? Next up, we've got our cup game. We've slipped down to 7, but you know what? We're still only 2 points off the top of the table. It is a really, really close division by the looks of it. So that makes for interesting times at least. Something that's a bit amusing, the manager of the opposition team has basically been sacked off the back of that 1-1 draw with us. Alright, so here we are. It's time for our cup game. We're up against ACS Poly Timisoara, who are firmly rooted to the bottom of League One. That is partially because they have got a points penalty before the start of this season, but it's also because they've only won one match and drawn one match. So they would only have 4 points anyway. Having a quick look at their squad, they have obviously a decent selection of players compared to what I have available to play with. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but who knows? Anything can happen in the cup. So in terms of our lineup, unfortunately our only right back is, or only competent right back is suspended. So Dennis the Menace is getting his debut. What other changes shall we make? We get anyone back that can play? Giggle Bucker's fit again, but he's not fit. He's just playable fit. We'll put him on the bench in case we need to use him. We'll keep it on counter. We're going to change Popa to a box-to-box midfielder to see if that makes any difference to his performance. Actually, let's play with 2 ball-winning midfielders. 1 centre midfielder. That might shake things up a bit. Try and get some more possession. We'll put Cornell back on at left back. Yeah, we'll go with that. Obviously, this is a big ask to take anything from this game, but we'll see. Quite interestingly, the press have decided that we have enough about ourselves to see off the Division 1 team. They don't have much confidence in ACS Poly at all. So I guess in their evaluations of teams, Forum counts for quite a bit. So we are lining up in front of the fans. Quite an empty stadium, but quite a big stadium as well. One 0 to us after 7 minutes, and it's Dimitru Mitu with his second of the season. Oh, we've got a red card. Our right back on his debut basically just lashed out there and didn't do himself any favours. So we will move Popa to right back and hopefully he can carry. And we'll put Sue. Yeah, we'll take Mitu back to centre midfield, sub him off. I know he got the goal, but he is old. We'll bring on Vlad the Impaler and hope he doesn't get sent off as well. So half time, we are 1-0 up. We have a red card in our team, so we're down to 10 men. Can we hold on to full time against higher league opposition? This is going to be quite interesting. I don't think there's really any changes I can make. I can go defensive, but that might just give the opposition more chances to get a goal against us. So we'll stay as it is, and I really hope we get away with this. And we did not get away with it. So it's now 1 each. After 69 minutes. Oh, Anderson, you missed a sitter, man. Yes, Anderson, after 76 minutes, it's now 2-1. That's great. So we are through to the next round. A 2-1 win despite being down to 10 men against a team from a higher division, albeit the worst team from the higher division. That is going to do wonders for the bank balance. So I wonder who we're going to get in the next round. Let's see what the press had to say. CS Soime Pankota were able to secure a 2-1 win over ACS Poly, what proved to be an enthralling encounter, despite being reduced to 10 men. I wonder what I should do with this fellow, because he's... Shall we release him? I can't afford to release him. You've got to be better than that, man. Orsoy, Dennis the Menace, makes professional debut. It was a proud moment for him. Watched by his family and given a rapturous ovation. Yeah, and do you think they gave him a rapturous ovation when he gets sent off as well? Quite angry about that, to be honest. Do you have any thoughts regarding Poppa and ACS Poly following the match? Why are we at why? Oh, it's their managers called Poppa. I thought they were asking about my player. I felt we were disrespected at times. Yeah. Today's result sees you through. Do you think you can win it? Yeah, I'm sure we can beat Stoya, Bucharest, and all these teams. Aye, no problem, man. I'm taking it one game at a time, as always. The fairy tale continues. Another superb win. I'm pleased we got the victory. Etc., etc., etc. We were given money which is always good because we don't have any. Here we go. So we are going to fine him 2 weeks' wages for getting sent off in such an important match. He's going to be furious, but I don't care. I'm the boss. What an achievement. And he accepted his fine. That was nice of him, wasn't it? Accepting his, taking ownership of his mistake. That's what we like to see. Something that I'm a little bemused about. So I clicked into the social feed, and obviously we've got this player that got sent off in a cup game against, well, an important cup game. And all the fans, one fan thought that he liked a youngster getting his debut. One fan thought that he didn't look that good. Well, I'd be inclined to agree with that. And 2 fans were quite impressed by him. So they were impressed by basically an early dismissal. Interesting priorities there. We're going to sign this fellow. He's not very good, but he's one for the future. We need another goalkeeper. I think that the one we have makes too many mistakes, so we need someone we can fall back on. And this is the maximum I'm allowed to offer in wages at the moment, £45 a week. And unfortunately, this player won't join us until the end of January, so we need to persevere with what we have for the time being. Alright, so it's time for the Romanian Cup 7th round draw. 16 teams go into the hat for the 8 matches to be drawn, so we're nearly at the quarterfinals. That's really impressive. With teams as varied as Steaua Bucharest, FC Dynamo Bucharest, Unirea San Nicolau, and Soime Pancota. And that's us, by the way. So let's see who we get. We have avoided FC Steaua and CFR Cluj. So that means if we're not going to get the big money, well, I suppose we could still get Dynamo Bucharest. I'd like an easier tie, like Chindia or somebody like that. Well, we're not getting Chindia either. They've been drawn against Olympia SM. Okay, we have been drawn against a team called Botoșani. They are 9th in League One. This is not really the draw I would have wanted, but it is what it is. They have a 12,000-seater stadium. They have 3 stars reputation. Decent players, obviously, compared to us. They went up 3 seasons ago. Not a thrilling draw because they will probably beat us and we probably won't make a lot of money out of it. However, we have been offered, just like last round, we've been offered money to play away from home. We're going to take it. And we don't play them until the end of, well, the middle of December, so it'll be a little while before we play that match. Oh well, I was hoping for an easy tie to get us into the quarters or a money draw, but we just have to put up with what we've got. Alright, so it's time for the final game of the month. We are away from home against CS Mioveni. Made a couple of changes. We've brought Elvis back in. I'm just trying to keep him happy because he keeps complaining about lack of first team football. I can't afford too much dissent in the squad at the moment. It's not particularly big unless I start bringing in under 18s, and none of them are up to par. We will stick with the 2-ball winning midfielders, but we are going back to standard mentality. I'm looking forward to Giggle Booker coming back. It's a fit player because I know Mitu got a goal last match, but you know he's not consistent. And Razvan Dulap is back in the side as well. So we'll go with that. And let's see, we're currently 6th. A win would potentially take us up to 3rd, depending on other results, or it could potentially drop us all the way down to 12th. Well, half time, 0-0. I changed to attacking midway through the half because we weren't creating any chances, and we still haven't created any chances. We have had 8 shots apparently, 2 of which were on target, but they weren't highlight worthy. What can I change? We switched to attacking already. Let's change our midfield disposition. Yeah, so we'll go back to one ball winning midfielder. We'll have a box to box midfielder. We'll take Elvis off because he's got a yellow card. Shall we take off Mitu? Let's see, how would he perform as a striker? It's more of a target man. Yeah, let's put Sue up as a target man. We'll leave Mitu as attacking midfield. Yeah, we'll go with that. That is going to be a red card. I don't know what it is about our right backs and their fascination with being sent off. And of course we were punished for it. And Ionica scores an own goal to make it 2-0 against us. We're really falling apart now. $4-0 over there. Well, 4-0 down at full time. Another right back getting suspended, and a comedy of errors in defence. A very different match from our cup game previously. Our defence really are their own worst enemies. And with that, we've slipped back down to 7th, but you know, we're still in a reasonably good position, especially given our pre-season predictions. So that is the end of the matches for this episode. Let's have a quick look around the world. So let's have a look at my profile for a start by popular demand. There have been some changes throughout this month in terms of my attributes. Where I had a lot of 2s and 1s previously, we now have 3s and 2s. So we're making some progress as a manager. Our managing finance is bad, but that's basically because we're paying Anderson a lot of money. It's down at 44%. My media handling is 99%. I guess I'm picking the right things. My reputation is a solid 5%. Everything else is more or less, yeah, everything else is 50%. I'm starting to build up a little bit of knowledge in Romania, although I haven't learned the language yet. and my win percentage is 55%, which is quite good considering that I inherited a team destined for relegation. Having a look around the world, let's see how things are going on. So first of all, remaining second league, as you can see, we are 7th. We are reasonably comfortable, 10 points clear of the drop zone, but of course that could change in the matter of 3 or 4 matches. But by the same context, we're only 5 points off the playoffs and automatic promotion. The top division, well, there's a team there called ACS Poly on -9 points. I don't see the relegation brackets there. I assume that 3 teams are going down. And there's 3 teams there with less than 10 points, so it's safe to say that those are the guys that are in trouble. And up the top, we've got AFC Astra and Soya Bucharest on 32 and 26 points respectively. And let's look at the big divisions. In Spain, Barcelona are starting to peel away a little bit. After 11 games, they've got 26 points. Atletico Madrid are right behind them, 23, and Real Madrid on 22. Atletico in the stronger position because they've got a game in hand. At the bottom, Real Hispales are propping up the table with a pathetic 3 points after 10 games. And Eibar are not much better. They've got no wins after 11 games and only 5 points. In the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich now 6 points clear after a mere 9 games. They're on 25 points and they have not been beaten yet this season. VfL Wolfsburg and Leverkusen both in 19 points behind them. Borussia Dortmund are down in 10th with only 12 points. I think their manager might be under a bit of pressure soon. And at the bottom we've got SV Darmstadt on 1 point. And a goal difference of -14. In England, Stoke are now top. They've got 21 points after 10 games. Are they the new Leicester? The current Leicester have clawed their way back up into 4th. They've got 18 points. But the real chasing pack are Arsenal and Manchester City, both in 20 points. And there's pretty much been 10 games played there in that division. And down the bottom, Everton on 5 points. They are really struggling there. Serie A, we have Juventus in 25, leading the way, followed by Napoli and Chievo on 22. And down the bottom, we've got Empoli, Cagliari on 7, Crotone on 8, and Genoa on 9. AC Milan there in 16th place with 10 points. Portugal, Sporting Lisbon in top, 23 points, followed by FC Porto in 22 and Benfica in 21. No surprises there with the top 3. And Belenenses down the bottom on 4 points. In France, we've got Paris Saint-Germain after 11 games on 31 points at the top. And their main challengers are Olympique Lyon, who've dropped down a little bit since last month. They're on 28 points. And quite a large diff gap there between second and third of 7 points. We've got Toulouse and 21 points on 3rd place. And at the foot of the table there, Nancy Lorraine in 4 points. And a little bit better off, we've got Cannes on 8 and Nantes on 9. In Russia, got Rubin on 27 after 12 games. Zenit St. Petersburg on 25. Netherlands, yeah, we can look there. Feyenoord on 25 points after 11 games, followed by Ajax in 23 and PSV in 22. So nothing beyond your standard kind of teams up the top there. Your standard championship contenders. And down the bottom, Sparta Rotterdam and FC 20 on 7 points, NEC on 9. Let's cover off Turkey. I don't think we've did them previously, maybe we did, but we're doing them now. Besiktas on 16 points after 9 games. Quite a tight pack in this division actually, because between the top 8 you've got 3 points of a difference. Galatasaray are second on 15, Trabzonspor also on 15, and down the bottom you've got Adanaspor on 5 points. In Greece, AEK Athens on 20 points, and Olympiacos on 18, Panathinaikos on 17, and the rest of the teams are quite a bit behind. So, again, par for the course in that division. Let's look at Scotland. If I can find them. So, Ladbrokes Premiership. Last month we had Hamilton in top. This time we have Inverness Calais Thistle on top with 18 points. Celtic with a game in hand on 17. And also in 17 we'll get Hamilton and Ross County. So a surprisingly competitive division there. All the way down to 6th. You've really got one win between those teams, separating them out. And that's after about a quarter of the season gone. And down the bottom of the table, you've got Motherwell in 7 points and Kilmarnock in 10. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please do subscribe.